Griezmann returns to make sure Barca has not given up yet.
Welcome back to El Merengue Culé. What a game we had today as Barcelona defeated Villarreal 4-1.
4-1.
But before we get started, let's talk about those lineups.
Yeah, so the lineup was pretty similar in terms of personnel. The only difference was he didn't start Ricky Puig and instead started Sergio Roberto.
Yep.
However, in terms of the actual formation, we predicted a 4-3-3, but he played more of like a 4-3-1-2. With starting with Griezmann, more of an attacking mid.
Yeah, you saw as like Messi and Griezmann were kind of alternating. I guess Setien really wanted to start testing out new tactics. You know, all the drama that's been going on with Barca, I think really opened up Setien's mind on change. He had been sticking too much to the same formation, same tactics.
I think the advantage of having both or all three Suarez, Griezmann, and Messi together is that the off-the-ball movement benefits each other.
Yeah.
They're able to play off each other, and from the get-go, minute 3, we're able to see that. We saw Suarez checked in. The ball, I think it was Sergio Roberto, found the ball out wide to Jordi Alba. He took a bit of space, and then it was that Griezmann replacing from that attacking mid-roll, replacing into that space that Suarez created.
Yeah.
And yes, he didn't get the finishing touch. It did end up being an own goal, but it put us up ahead from minute 3.
And I think like the main thing to take away from that was Barca returning to their old ways. They are a team that thrives whenever they use their wings and whenever their outside backs really push up. And this is when we saw classic Jordi Alba play, where he pushes up deep into that goal line and they find him, he drives down the goal line, and then like you said, gives that killer pass to the strikers running on.
Another advantage of a narrow formation is the fact that, you know, our team is on the older end of the spectrum. And yet our outside backs are young and filled with energy, filled with speed.
I mean, Semedo's been playing great lately.
So
a lot of energy.
If we contract the middle, we limit the amount of running as a team, and then it kind of laid more into the outside backs to run, which they're the perfect players on that Barca team to run.
I think overall, Barca played a great attacking game.
Yeah.
You know, we were very impressed with their off-the-ball movement. They looked a lot more fresh. I brought up earlier how Barca actually had 4 or 5 days of break in between their last game. And we've been talking about how teams in La Liga lately, you know, most games have been 1-0, like just a narrow score. And players seem to be getting tired. Like you start to see the fatigue on them. And I think really seeing Barca rested, we saw the huge difference that made. And with that being said, we can transition on to Villarreal's goal because I think it exposed a flaw of Barcelona.
So Villarreal's goal came from a quick transition from them. They were doing that from the get-go. The first 10 minutes, it was try to catch us on the counter, them transitioning faster than us, which highlights how slow we were transitioning.
Yeah.
I don't think it was much of the back line doing something
defense,
wrong. It was just the whole team kind of a sluggish transition.
I don't know if that goes back to the increasing age average in Barcelona. You know, once again, you see how Ricky Puig comes in and he just has, he's on a different level. He's on a different level of energy. Yeah. Busquets just kind of jogging around, Rakitic jogging around. Same with Vidal every now and then. So I think the team as a whole, their age is just, they're getting older and they're not able, every time they lose the ball, they don't have that like spark to, let's get back and defend. Let's get back in position right away. Let's transition real quick. And that's why we had such an open game in both sides. You know, it was back and forth, especially that first half. The second half was a little different because of the scoreboard. But that first half, it was just back and forth because both teams had really good offensive transitions, but the moment they lost the ball, they were kind of lost.
So yeah, guys, that's when Gerard Moreno, minute 13, as we predicted in the pregame, he put one in, very lethal. But what I loved about Barca is we refused to give up. Right away, we saw Piqué leap and almost put us ahead again. We also saw Suarez weave in between two players and put himself in a one-on-one position. Unfortunately, Asenjo had
a pretty good game.
By the
end of the game, he had like 8 saves. Yeah. And then, we saw as the Barcelona that kept on attacking. Yeah, like you said, they didn't give up. They kept on creating close opportunities. You know, we had the Suarez chance where he almost put it away. And then you had Vidal almost put one away. So Barca was already knocking on the door. You know, they wanted that third goal. They did not want to stop. We saw Griezmann and Messi connecting a lot. And yeah, in the 44th minute, he passed it down to Messi. Messi took some space, dropped it back to him. And man, what a finish.
Griezmann
he
lobbed
that over the goalie,
off the bar, and as you said, Villarreal, they let all the pedal. They knew that game was over.
That goal was a dagger.
It killed them. And soon enough they started taking out the big players, and you were a little bit upset because you thought they could still bring the game back. But if you look at them from their point of view, I think tactically it was smart. They're fighting for that Champions League position, and well, next up they play Getafe, right? The main competitors. If they could have tried to get some points out of Barca, it would have drained them. It would have drained them and possibly set them up for failure for that Getafe game.
But also maybe if you come back and you fight against Barcelona, it gives you that morale boost. You know, all you need is a goal. You're down 3-1. I just feel like what kind of mentality is it if you go down 3-1 and you just kind of give up in the moment? And I know, and just because you have a big rival against you like Barcelona, that seems like a really big hill to climb. What kind of mentality as a club are you setting for yourself, for the club, and for the players? You just give up on that game. So as a Real Madrid fan who I wanted to see Villarreal, who was probably the most informed team since coming back from the break, so I was excited to see what they were going to bring to Barca, and kind of was frustrating, from a neutral perspective, because then that second half came around and it was a stalemate. I mean, the second half I was starting to fall asleep.
Sure. So yeah, those are two opposing tactics, right? Push for that or be conservative and look for your games ahead. Guys, let us know what you would do if you were in that similar position.
And with that being said, let's transition on to who we thought was the best player for Barcelona, our man of the match, and then the player that we thought was kind of bad.
So yeah, for Barcelona, it was mainly the whole team linking up well. But if I had to narrow it down to one player, it would be Griezmann. He came in there and he showed.
You said it yourself in the pregame.
He showed hunger.
Yeah.
You
saw that.
He showed he could link up together and kind of fuse what we were missing.
Yeah. He wanted to prove himself. Yeah, he definitely was the link, and you saw him be able to really develop himself in his natural position. Yeah. In that alteration of him being as a center attacking mid, going up to striker, dropping back in, just always with him having a striker in front or behind him.
Exactly.
But being in the middle of the field. Him on the wing, he gets lost. He doesn't know what to do.
I think you can argue this was Griezmann's best performance at Barcelona. And I would like to credit it to Setien playing him where he belongs.
Well, see, and that kind of pushes me to my man of the match. My man of the match was Setien. I think it was massive.
Yeah.
He did what the team needed him to do. He was flexible. We've always talked about how Valverde was he stuck to his ways, and if things were going bad, but he didn't want to change, and he refused to bring in new players. He refused to play younger players like Ricky Puig. But Setien, he admitted where he was at fault, and he decided to change by changing the formation, changing tactics around. He really made a difference.
So what can we take away from this game? Personally, Griezmann's performance was really the highlight of it.
Yeah, I think this was him coming back and saying, "Hold on, I still have something to say in this team. It's not over yet."
And it showed us something. For so long, we tried for him to adapt to our playing style, which is okay, it's understandable. But for once, we adapted to his playing style, and look how he rewarded us.
Yeah, Barca did look pretty great out there. And so with that being said, I kind of want to finish off by kind of asking you how your sensations are coming out of this game compared to how you were coming in. Because I want to say not just because of the win, but the way y'all played, the way y'all won that game was pretty reassuring.
The big theme these past few games was struggling to create chances, right? We didn't have a clear understanding of where we want to take the attack. Setien made it clear, right? Down the middle, off the ball movement, it'll create you space and take advantage of that space. We're walking away with this game with a big smile, with big hopes of what's to come.
Yeah. So now, reminder, Real Madrid is now 4 points ahead of Barcelona, and personally, I still don't think La Liga is over yet.
Yeah.
With that being said, please make sure you hit the like button if you like this video. Go check out any of our other videos who will be linked in the description. And subscribe if you haven't for all of our best analysis here at El Merengue Culé for both Barcelona and Real Madrid. As always, have a great day. We'll see you guys next video. And for me, a la Madrid.
Visca Barça!